Welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick, and in today's video I've got a live trade for you. So I'm on H1 quickly showing you where we are in price, and do you know what I'll do? I'll go to a higher time frame, D1. So I trade supply and demand. So to do that, you need to know where the supply and demand zones are. Now you could do it on a higher time frame, you could do a low time frame. They're available everywhere. But this trade is based on a higher time frame just because of where price is currently. Okay, so I'm just going to break it down quickly for you, show you how I found the trade, and then I'll tell you where my take profit is going to be. And that's what this video is really about, because you see my setup already. If you've been following the channel, you know how I find these trades. But the key is now, or what I want to discuss in this video, is take profit, where to take your profit. Okay, where to take money off the table. Okay, so price has been trending down for the longest. It's done a lot. I expected it to be reversing up here, and it attempted to, but it didn't. It broke down. I expected maybe this zone, and again it attempted to do so, but it broke down, and it's come all the way underneath all this price action here. Definitely this one, because there's liquidity there. I expected that much when it broke this guy here. I expected to get underneath here, but now it's got underneath here as well, so it's now in this demand zone here. Okay, it's a small one. I would have preferred to take this trade based on this demand zone here, but market gives me the signals. If I see what I need to see, the price action, I'm going to take the trade. Okay, so now we go to a lower time frame quickly. Let's see if it's any relevance here. Okay, yeah, so on H1 now, and H1 is where I will use to map out where I believe price is going to. So I found a key area where price is at now, so I'm looking for indication on the smaller time frame to tell me to get in, which I will show you in a second. But in terms of where I want to take price, there's two main areas. Okay, so one here, so we have a flag, so we have a pole, we have a flag, and this is a massive pole down. Okay, there's smaller flags in there, but this is a massive pole, and here where it broke out, price has not returned there. So unlike, I would ideally like to see price come back and fill that. It's not necessarily going to do this today. It will do it at some point, but that is my main target. If this is a strong reversal, I would expect it to go there. Okay, that will be my main target. That's why I like price to go. And for my entry, it's roughly about 100 pips. So my entry is down here. To get up there is 89 pips. Okay, so it's 89 pips, but to get up there, that could take the whole day, maybe 2 days, and there's a lot of news due today and this week, so it's too speculative. It's too, it's just not what I'm about. I'm about getting in and out as quick as possible, so it's not likely, but I just wanted to show you that as an example. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I would trade this in terms of take profit, what we could do with this. Okay, so if this is a very optimistic TP, where is a more realistic target? Now, I'll quickly show you. It will be this low here. Okay, so if you've been following and if you watch the charts based on supply and demand, you will see that when price breaks a zone, it usually comes back to the zone it broke before it continues. So for example, this low here, it broke it here, went all the way down here, but look where it did, came all the way back there, tapped in there to get the remaining orders, and then continue its downtrend. So that's why I expect it to potentially come here, because this is an imbalance. I expect it to come here and maybe tap into there at some point, but it doesn't need to do it now. As you can see, this didn't do it straight away. It went all the way down, then came back a few days later. So that's why I say it's very optimistic TP. Where I would expect it to go from this point here is here as a minimum. Again, it does not need to do that. It does not need to do what I want. This is what I would expect. Okay, so it's possible it could go there. So that would be my first realistic price point. And if you look closely, you can see here there is a flag which it hasn't hit. So I would expect it to potentially do that today. So I'm going to go to a lower time frame, and we're going to look at that again. So that's where it's marked out. Okay, so this trade here, let's just talk about this trade quickly. We have a trend, we have a trend going down, and you know what I like to see. I like to see a breaking structure, a flag, and then a reversal. So we have a trend going down here. It fakes like it's going further, pulls up, flags here, then turns around and beats this side, which is the breaking structure. This is the flag before it broke the structure. So I then believe now this is reversing and going up. So this is my trade I typically scalp. Okay, now I typically just scalp it for about 6 pips, or depending on my lot allocation or my account size, that could represent 1% or 0.5%. So that's what I typically do. I don't look at where I would like it to go, where I believe it's going to go. I just tend to get what I've come for. So that could be 6 pips, that could be 7 pips, and based on the lot allocation, that's a good amount of coin for me on that day. Okay, and that usually gets me in and out of the market within about 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm happy with that. However, I know a lot of you like to hold trades and milk it and use less money and milk it, see, let the trade breathe and run a little bit longer. So this is really for you. Where would be the ideal places to take TP, or bear in mind where price could turn around and go against you, so you want to take some partials off. So that's what this video is about. Okay, so it's not necessarily about me and what I prefer, it's about what you could do with this same setup that I trade. And as you've seen multiple times, that I do take like 5 or 6 pips or 6 or 7 pips, but it does go a lot further than that. So it does go a lot further. The setup works, we know that. Where can you take it to? So we've already marked at this point based on the higher time frame, and this is a very realistic expectation. Since it broke, it has not returned there. And now what do we see to give us confidence that it may go there? Okay, so we've got the Asian session here, it's been trending. So we know the Asian session traders who were trailing this, trying to get this further down, may have the stop loss here, that's been run, may have a stop loss here, that's been run, and definitely here. You know, if you do support and resistance, these equal highs, you got your stop loss all over here. Okay, so you got stop losses here, and you got here on the higher time frame where it broke and has not returned. This is plain and simple. This is why I'm holding this trade, because I want to see it go back there at least as a minimum. Okay, so based on my entry, I'm risking 9.5 pips, and to take it there, that will be the equivalent of 19.4. Okay, so let's just round up those figures and we're calling it a 1 to 2. So I'm risking 10 pips trying to get 20 pips. Okay, so this trade is just before the London session where I find it. I tend to find most of my trades at that time. So if you do trade London session, the key is to actually look before the London session opens for the setup. Okay, and I need to double check, but I believe the exchange that starts just before the London session is the Frankfurt session, and that usually generates a reversal that runs the Asian session highs or lows, and then London session either continues that trend or it runs it back. Okay, so far London session has now opened 8 minutes in, and it looks like it's aiming for these equal highs. It's going for that, you know, the stop loss is above there. So I'm in profit and everything's moving right. I just need to be a lot more patient than I usually am to get TP here. So what I'm going to do, now I told you how I was going to manage this. So I would like to see price get up to here, okay? But that's about, what did I say it was, 90 pips or so, 89 pips? And that's going to take a lot longer. But I believe price is going to get here to a minimum. So what I'm going to do, plain and simple, is take price from here to there, take partials, leave a runner, and go there. So that is how you could milk the move, make the most of the move, is by taking partials. So I'll probably take about 80% of my lot allocation off here, and then leave the runner to do its thing, and that's it. Based on your entry, you could move to break even if you got a good entry. If you haven't, the best thing to do is leave it where it is and be prepared to take that as a loss if price does start coming against you. Okay, so for me, I probably will move to break even. Yes, let me just have a quick look. see how good this entry was. Okay, this entry is quite decent. um I don't see price needing to come back here. Hopefully it doesn't come back here after TP. So I get here and go take TP. I am going to move to break even. It's very likely to come back against me because it tends to do that. Yeah, it's very likely to come down, but is it going to come to my entry? I don't know, but we'll see. So I will move to break even and then leave a runner, and that's how I'm going to play this. Okay, so now this could take a while. I'm not interested in sitting around and waiting to see how long it takes. If you are following and you get to see this video, you could, you have a look, see how it played out, okay? Whether it was a win or loss, okay? So this is more or less what I wanted to show you, and this is more or less what I wanted to talk about. There is something that's coming in the future, and I'm going to show you in terms of getting funded with the 5%ers, how to find an account, how to get started, how to get funded, how I usually trade with my setup and so on. So A to Z guide of how to get funded with the 5%ers, okay, based on my experience. So that is coming, that's in the pipeline, okay. Sometime this week I'll get to it. So if you want to see that, if you want to learn more about that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you find this useful, and yeah, let's keep it rolling. I'm going to sign out here now. This is Patrick, and until next time, peace.